Okay, so we got, this is part 2, so we're at 1E 22,000 BPM. So now you go to apply macro. Now this is a 1 Google Chime speed multiplier. So basically what this does is 10 100 digit skips. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and then 1000 to get the 1000 digits per every application. So for every time this is applied, it increases the start BPM by 1000 zeros for every time it is used. And for this, you will need a long set, so about a day's worth or more, a day or more worth of track length before applying this insanely large macro. Now what I'm going to show you, I'm going to open up a little notepad document here, because a lot of people, I feel like some people will get confused as to how the math works behind this digit skip. So I'm going to draw up some misconceptions. Okay, so say you have a start BPM of 100. BPM, right? If you apply the 1E plus digit skip, you would then get 1E (1002) BPM. The way this works is that for every application of this, you are adding asterisk there. So for every application, you are adding plus zeros. So for every application of the 1000 digit skip, you are adding 1000 zeros to the start BPM or the preceding BPM if you've already added it. So then the next set will be 1E plus 1002. It would then become 1E 2002 then 1E plus 3002. All the way to, let's say, 1E plus 9002. And so on. So for every application of this method, of this macro specifically, you are adding 1000 zeros. So 100 BPM at the top here would become 1E 1002. I'll even put up a calculator for this. Just so you know, I am not bullshitting. Here's how the math works, alright. $100 times 1E 1000. 1E 1002. And then you get this. Then what's this I do? So on and so forth. So I'm not bullshitting when I say this is the most exponential technique possible when it comes to extreme speed changes. So for every application of this specific macro, I've used this custom speed multiplier, if you will. It will increase the preceding BPM, any preceding BPM by 1E 1000. Simple as this quite aptly demonstrates. And look at that. The only problem is you need to have it an extremely long length of audio, and even then you're going to have to re-extend it by a shit ton, and then you're going to have to export it and then re-import it to actually revive the sound, and even then you're still going to have to pitch shift it downwards. I've just an idea. I was going to say, so yeah, if for every application you are adding 1000 zeros to the base BPM, then what you could do, the lowest one I figured without using the actual built, like standard built speed multiplier, is plus 2 digits or times 100. These are all multiples of 10. So what I've found I mean, if you could start off with like, I don't know, like 1 BPM, that would then become like, it's so easy to actually figure out how to do the math here. 1, you have 1. This is 1 beat per minute, right? Now, you want and then that's the current BPM. Bang. See? It cannot go beyond 1E 10,000 for some reason, but the same sentiment still applies. So that's the maximum this calculator can handle for some reason. Before it says overflow, which isn't actually true. It just can't go beyond 1E9999. So yeah, for every application, it will be 1,000 zeros added onto the beats, the BPM. I've done the same for so if basically the principle is if 10 equals 1 digit, then 100 is 2 digits equals 3. So that's the philosophy here. So 100, so 10 is 1 digit, which is possible with the built-in speed multiplier. The highest is 50. So you have to make these custom multipliers yourself. I've gone all the way to 1,000. Now, how did I manage to get that jump to 1,000, you might ask? Well, at first, I did 2 digits, and then I figured out that 10 digits is the equivalent of going for so 10 billion is equal to 10 digits. And then, yeah, so Oh, we're making progress. The first one is done. Yeah, it's only taking so long because you need such a long length of audio in order for it to actually work efficiently. Well, effectively. That's the only downside to this method, really, honestly. But I think it's well worth it in terms of the actual efficiency of the mathematics used. It's really well worth it. It's well worth it in my eyes. I went from 2 to 10 to 100, and then I went to 1,000 because I was just like, let's see how far I can push this. Let's see how far I can push this. And this was like pretty much as soon as the year started. I was like, wait a minute, At first I tried this with unobtainium, with the track in which it goes to the 310, E plus 310. But this was way before I discovered the 1000 digit skip. The Google Chime speed multiplier, as I'm calling it now. So, before I discovered the Google Chime speed multiplier, I was using, like 2, 5, 10, 100 maybe, beforehand, and then I realized once I discovered the 1000 digit skip, once I discovered that it was actually possible, I was like, oh wow. And because of how exponential this is, I had to create a new alias because unobtainium, for the last 2 years at that point in time particularly, unobtainium was doing it really slowly. So for it to suddenly jump up like this, I've had no choice but to create a new alias, which is superluminal. And I think it's fitting because they're both aliases, that being unobtainium and superluminal, they're both legitimate in their own way. Unobtainium is the more slower approach, more gradual, whilst superluminal is madness, par excellence. There you go. Watch the duration go down, ready? And now you're not ready for this, ready? Watch the duration. Just watch it. 141. Flickering. This is 1,000. This is not even joking, 1,000 times 10 speed multipliers. I am not fucking joking here. So, it'll crash for a long while before it sorts itself out. And then by the end of it, it will recover. By the time it's recovered, you'll have a duration of practically nothing. That's kind of the point. So that's why you have to spend a lot of time trying to extend it again. In theory, you could extend it to over 100 hours, but you'd still have to wait a shit ton of time. So I think the most optimal strategy is to go for like over 24 hours minimum to actually be able to use this more effectively without wasting too much time. Uh, Although the amount of clip boundaries this creates is unholy. It's to the point where it actually starts lagging if you paste it a lot, which you then have to resolve by just joining them all and then cutting them the end parts off, because that's actually what causes the lag spikes to occur, from my understanding. Look at the X button, by the way. This is 1000 times 10 speed multipliers. So this will be like 1E 23,000 BPM now. This is part of the third and final album I'm doing as Superluminal, so you won't be seeing anything until maybe later tonight, I don't know. But the point is, this is the last album, because I've got a lot of stuff to catch up on. I'm still gonna release stuff as Superluminal, but it's not gonna be as part of albums, like, as much. Like, this has been going on for the better part of a month now. It probably would have been finished by now if I never felt ill, but yeah. See, this is what I mean by absolute madness. Percent curry or splitter breaker, whatever you want to call yourself now. Artistically, this is my new method. It's not breaking. It's not. I think this is what IJ9 used initially. He used a probably similar technique. After he faked like a track of his or two, it kind of fell out of fashion, in my theory. So I kind of rediscovered it, put my own twist on it, and now here we are. I never really claimed it was a new method. I realised this quite early on, like really early on, that there had to be a similar method that IJ9 used, but this is absolutely legitimate. I could, look, if I might actually do a track from scratch, like fully from scratch. So I might start off with a BPM of 100. I'll start off with 100 BPM. And the final BPM will be like there you go. Look at that. Nothing. Except, wait for it, ready? Look how far I'm zooming in. Boom. Now this is where the fun begins. Look at the lag. Look at the lag, ready? You ready, guys? This is clip boundaries. Look at it. Look at the lag, ready? So now, here's what I'm gonna do. Select absolutely everything, and then you will go to edit. Go to clip boundaries, go to join, boom. Now admittedly this will crash, but it's temporary, because if it crashes, that means it's doing its job. See? Bang. Look at all this. So now, what you do, you take that, cut that, that's what's causing the lag, and you do the same to the other side. Why? Because it causes lag. And lag is something you do not want. Especially when you're doing something this fucking fast. Oh, shit. Fuck off, clip. Oh, piss off, cunt. So now, it's kind of hard doing this with one hand. I wish I had a fucking phone holder. It's embarrassing. Oh well. Boom, 2 seconds worth of content, and then 4 or 5, pretty much. So on and so forth. Then we join it again. Crashes. But it's doing its job, so it doesn't matter. Like, if you think I'm bullshitting with this, even though I've shown mathematical proof and how it actually works on a fundamental level, then, quite frankly, you're the fucking idiot. Hold on. Look. 1 speed multiplier, 1 macro, 2 Google Chime, 3 Google Chimes. Hold on. 1 BPM. 1 Google Chime speed multiplier application. Bang. That's the new value. New base BPM. Second Google Chime multiplier application. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, so on and so forth. You could repeat this process ad infinitum, and you would still be advancing by 1,000 digits for every single application of this specific macro. It doesn't matter. This next album will go from, I think, E11,000 to E25,000 BPM, and it is the last project of its kind. See, oh yeah, if you think I'm bullshitting with the 10-digit skip, I'm gonna prove you wrong here as well. Copy that, paste. Times 1e 10. 10 billion. Oh yeah, and then one Google is also used for get ready for this, folks. One Google. Ready? That's the 100-digit skip. And then time for the 1-digit skip. See? It's easy. It's all easy once you actually take into account like the mathematics and how all of this works. You'll understand it very easily. Unless you're a fucking idiot. But the point is this. I'm not bullshitting when I say that this method is absolute madness. Both mathematically, well, purely from a mathematical standpoint and how efficient this is. All it takes is quite a bit of patience, really. Which I have a lot of when it comes to this. So, yeah. Anyway, see you soon, I guess, after I release this album. So yeah, bye bye. See you in the next one, I guess.